Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath. Nobody's safe. Now you're free of the mess. Nobody's safe. You see, nobody's safe. It's easy with me. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale all the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale all the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale all the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay, we got this today. Gonna turn that pain into purpose. But first, take a deep breath, then exhale all the stress. Now you're free of the mess, now you're free. You see, this is easy. It's easy with me.
Yo, 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 what's up? You are tuned in to the Nobody is Safe podcast page. We welcome you. Thank you for tuning in tonight on this wonderful Saturday evening with my guest, David Williams, aka Twin. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh man, I'm just chilling, man. Slow motion.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
For a minute.
Okay, listen, you in this soft talking now. We ain't gonna do this tonight. I got to have you put you some.
I mean, I can't help it. I mean, I speak up a little louder, but I always had a, calm, low voice. You know what I'm saying?
Now, who you telling that to? You telling that to me because I done heard louder.
Well, yeah, that's when I turn into something, though.
Hey, well, I ain't trying to have you turn into nothing else now. As y'all can see, too, I mean, I'm feeling myself tonight. I am rocking the natural look here. Yeah. I am really, I decided to just, rock the natural look. You like it? I was kind of nervous about it. I'm not going to even lie because, switching up real quick, it makes you, kind of rethink your decision. But I'm kind of feeling the natural look, y'all. I'm kind of feeling this right now. I'm kind of feeling it. So, listen, what we're going to do for everyone that is just now tuning in on 2 weeks ago, if you missed the podcast, our first interview with David Williams, aka Twin, I'm just going to call him Twin. It was a good podcast. It was a good interview. We want to go ahead and we're going to recap a few things here. We're going to touch some bases because let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this, okay, to the city. I'm not here to ruffle no feathers, okay? I'm just doing what everybody else should be doing and speaking the truth. Here on this podcast, nobody is safe on this podcast. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to tell the truth. You know, we want the truth to be told because there are a lot of lies and undermining things that has happened in this city. And a lot of people, they're throwing rocks high in their hands and don't think that it'll come out in the light. But we ain't here to ruffle no feathers. We just want people to feel safe. We just want a safe space, you know, and to enjoy the podcast. That's why we here. Now, also, too, if you guys have any type of questions whatsoever, put them on the screen. We watching, okay? Put them on the screen. If I don't see them, I have my engineer. He sees them and he's telling me to look at it. So just put them on the screen. And you could call in. Matter of fact, there's the number going across the screen right now. Jot it down because you're going to be able to call if you want to ask Mr. Williams some questions tonight. You'll be able to call. Also, too, later on in the show, we have a really big, huge surprise. We'll tell you at the end. So you got to tune in to hear the entire surprise. And I'm so excited about this surprise. And also, we have a giveaway that we're going to do at the end of the show, too. We did say we're going to give away a Michael Kors travel set, a neck pillow, and also a 2026-27 calendar to go with it as well. So you're going to have to tune in because one lucky YouTube subscriber on our YouTube page will win this. So let's get into it. You ready? Let's go. Let's go. So last week, we talked about your conviction. We talked about how you got into the game. We talked about things that you did and people that you came across during your time.
Yeah.
And one thing that we're going to touch basis on, I'm going to try not to, get so much into this because it was so much information. We touched on that at some point in time, the feds was trying to put some of Daryl charges on you, correct?
Well, I'm not gonna say that they was trying to put some of his charges on me. I'm gonna say that what they tried their best to try and make it seem like me and bro was together when they really didn't have anything to prove me and him being together, in that business. Only thing they had was people talking, telling them, certain things.
Let me ask you this question because you and Daryl look so much alike. So much alike. And if one didn't know one from another, you wouldn't know who was who. At any point in time, did the feds literally get you guys mixed up and say, oh, we're going to charge Daryl and say you were Daryl and then say Daryl was David with a different crime or the same crime, or they tried to put it? Did they ever at any point in time get you guys mixed up?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that they actually got us mixed up, but they did kind of at certain stages. They did kind of, commingle information, like certain information that related to my brother. They kind of brought it into my thing and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So, but as for the person, I don't recall them ever mixing us up.
Now I remember myself personally, when we get deep into this story tonight, I remember some of the guys that Daryl dealt with and me seeing them. And I remember some of the guys that you dealt with and me seeing them.
Yeah.
You guys dealt with sometimes two different guys.
Well, we always did. Bruh dealt with who he dealt with. I dealt with who I dealt with. The only time, I ever dealt with anyone that my brother dealt with is when bro would call me if he was waiting on something or whatever. He would call me and say, "Hey, look, could you, you know, look out for take care of my people until I get straight." And then I would do that. But other than that, man, bro, we he always did his thing, I always did my thing. And just because we were brothers and twins, people always thought we were together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Which, bro had his own thing going, I had my own thing going.
Now, two names that's going to be brought up tonight. I know 100% for sure that they dealt with Daryl.
Okay.
And they were brought up on your information for as they testified against you. And not only did they testify against you, they also came back to the courts and retestified against you.
Well, I'll get into who you're talking about. And, I'll wait to see who you're talking about.
So when we say that, what happens is the reason why I'm mentioning this so soon is because as twins, sometimes people it's just flabbergasts me or just amazes me how the system works when it comes to a person dealing with Daryl and then a person dealing with you, and how the system just sit here and railroaded you.
Well, see, what you got to understand is this, right? and I'm, later on down the line, after, when we get on something else, dealing with the law, specifically federal law, what you got to understand is this, primarily. Like, you got a lot of dudes that's been in the federal system, right? But a lot of these guys who done been in the feds and now they on the street, they're not gonna give it to you 100, because a lot of these dudes, they did certain things, that they wish to keep undisclosed. So they're not gonna speak to the youth. They're not gonna try and tell the other dudes that's in the street how the feds really operate. But what it boils down to, when it comes to the feds, is all about a conviction, and they're gonna do that by any means necessary. So it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter whether the person telling the truth or lying. Hell, that's just like they brought a dude to testify against me. Said that we met in high school. We started dealing with each other in high school. And then when he was asked, what high school did y'all attend together? This man said Jones High. Now, anybody who know me, know
you definitely
I never went to Jones High.
Exactly.
I went to Evans High School.
Exactly.
But this is the thing. When that was brought out, then the prosecutor them say, okay, well, he might have been lying about that, but we still feel like his testimony is credible when it comes to drug quantity. You know what I'm saying? So all the transactions he's saying that we did, they still held me accountable for it. You know
now,
what I'm
was
saying?
that the young gentleman that we spoke about last week?
This guy named, I believe we did bring him up. His name was Tory Clemens. His nickname was Gator Bait. He was from like Lake County or somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so no, we didn't get into him. So this is a whole different guy right here.
I mean, it's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? It'll take up too much time, and it'll take too many episodes to talk about everybody. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy part about it, you just said that this guy was from Lake County.
Yeah, he was.
So how in the world did he even know to put you at Jones High School? So somebody had to be feeding him this information.
Well,
did you ever find out this?
Well, listen, it's obvious in his testimony that he didn't know me. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand how the feds really operate. You know what I'm saying? And like I say again, you got a lot of dudes who done been in the feds. They not gonna disclose it. Cause for real, I'm gonna tell you something. This just real. This just real. This just facts here. You got a lot of dudes go to the feds and come out. Dudes on the street who never been in the federal system, they think they know. They think they savvy. They think they, and dudes who done been in the feds, they look at dudes on the street like, man, y'all ain't got a clue. And they not gonna put you up on game, because guess what? A lot of these dudes know what? I'm gonna do what I do, and when I get caught up, I'm gonna use him to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? So they not gonna tell you the real nitty gritty. Like I laugh at a lot of these dudes. Like when I be hearing stories, oh such and such got arrested by the feds, and 3 days later he got a bond.
Feds ain't
Listen,
giving you
they
no
not
bond.
giving you no bond like
Feds
that.
ain't gonna give you no bond. I don't care how
they not
much you.
doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? But
The feds
dudes on
ain't
the
gonna
street,
give you no
because
bond.
They used to how the state work. You get arrested, you get caught with a gun, whatever. You go to jail, you get booked in. You got a bond on, you bond
Exactly.
out. So that's how their mind is. They think it worked like that, but no. If you get out of jail that quick with the feds, you got a job, and I mean you working with them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you know.
So let me ask you now, when you, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me back up a little bit, because we kind of recapping. We're gonna touch that in a few seconds. So last week we mentioned 3 names, as you guys may not remember. And let me make this perfectly clear, because I don't want any type of affiliation with this. He is no kin to me. We may have the same last name, but he is no kin to me. Let me make that perfectly clear. So the first person, and we're going to speak on him tonight because I cannot stand him. And if you know him and you see him in the street, you better run far as you can go. And I'm telling you, because he walking the streets. So the first person was Carl A. Cooper.
Okay.
This one right here took a whole entire meaning to, I'm talking about snitch. When I tell you that he was up to no good, he was up to no good from the first time I met him. Sometimes people can look at a person, but when you're dealing with a person, you don't see that. Me, I seen it from the start. I didn't like him. I didn't care for him. And I told you, leave him alone. I don't like that dude right there. Now, that was one person, and we're going to get on him in a few minutes. Now, the second person that we did mention was Quincy Howard, a.k.a. Q. You know where he is now?
No, I mean, I have no reason to, look for him or any other of them guys. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've heard different things, but I don't, where they at and what they doing makes me know never mind. You know what I'm saying?
So, I tell you what. Don't really know, but let's just say Carmel is eating him up right now. We're going to say that. So, if anybody know where he at, more power to him. The next person that we mentioned on last week, now this gentleman, he had nothing whatsoever. He wasn't even in you guys' league. So I'm still baffled on how he was even brought up in this. And this was Michael Tukes.
Okay. And it goes back to what I said earlier about how the feds operate. The feds, the way they operate when they want to convict you, and especially for people like myself who choose to go to trial. But you got to understand, the feds got a 98% conviction rate, not because they so witty and this big bet. It's because 98% plead guilty. All right, only 2% go to trial. Matter of fact, less than 2%. All right. So when you try and go, when you go to trial, it's like they do things to basically try to guarantee their conviction. Now, don't get me wrong. You got a very small percentage of people who went to trial, and won at trial. You know what I'm saying? But that's very, 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 very small. And even those people will tell you, man, them people brought people to lie and so forth and so on. And, it wasn't no easy win. I can tell you that. But like I said, it goes back to what I was saying. They'll use anybody willing to testify. You know what I'm saying? They'll use them.
So what's crazy is I'm finna go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to read just a little brief summary of how you got caught up. Okay. When it all came down, when it all happened, and when it was this was it. This was the day your life changed. I'm talking about change. So we just going to read a brief summary. It says on December 15th, 2000, agents initiated surveillance at 4783 Walden Green Circle in Orlando, Florida, where the defendant was to meet Carl Cooper, snitch. Remember, snitches get stitches. Keep on. So at approximately about 4:45 p.m., agents observed the defendant arrive at the above location, which was you. The defendant met with Cooper in front of the apartment. They initiated apartment L. Agent observed the defendant give Cooper's brother, Clint Barnes, $19,000. Approximately 5 minutes later, the defendant exited the apartment. The defendant was arrested by DEA at that time. Now, this didn't go down like this.
Well, what happened was this. All right. To give you the background, what happened was this, okay? To sum it up, all right. Coop ended up going to Alabama. He got caught with 8 ounces. You know, this big drug lord, but he got caught with 8 ounces of cocaine. All right. He immediately started cooperating up there in Alabama. He got with the agents, the narcotic detectives up there, and he was saying me and my brother's name and this and that. And he asked them, please just contact the DEA in Orlando. So when the narcotics agent contacted the DEA in Orlando and just said me and my brother's name, because I guess they, had a file or whatever, and they just said our name, and they was, hey, we got a guy who's willing to cooperate. That's when they were like, let him go. That was in November of 2000.
But wait a minute, hold on. Now hold that thought now. So this man go to Alabama and get caught with
something
8.
that me or my brother, we didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't finance it. It wasn't no product from us. Nothing. We had nothing to do with it. But because when he got caught up, he trying to do stuff to get out of doing that time. You know what I'm saying? So he started cooperating immediately. That was in November of 2000. So what happened was they made arrangements for him to be released. The whole while unbeknown, the beginning part of December of 2000, he trying to, do business with me and bro and all that. So we but long story short, so on the day in question, he called me and asked me to come by his place, and he wanted some money or whatever. I took $19,000 with me, unbeknown to me. He already had marshals, DEA, and all that there.
Sitting there waiting on you.
Yeah, sitting there waiting on me because they arrested me first, and then they turned around and arrested my brother. That's why me and Daryl was arrested the same day. But when on my way there, before I got there, he called me. He was like, "No, just drop the money off with my brother. I got something I need to handle." So when I get there, I take the money, I drop it off, and gave it to his brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I tell his brother, "Hey, look, this for Coop. Just tell him holler at me, later on or whatever." So when I leave out the door and go downstairs, as I'm going downstairs, it was a big, like one of them U-Haul trucks or whatever parked, and the door fly up, and I see all these people with guns and all black. So I take off running, and they end up catching. It was so mean I couldn't get away. You know what I'm saying? And they end up catching me and taking my phone off me. They was yelling and screaming, "Get his phone! Get his phone!" And they took my phone off me, cuffed me, and took me off. And then they turned around and Daryl the same way. Called Daryl to the same place. And that's
Daryl came to the exact
the same exact place. You know what I'm saying? Because Coop called him in the same spiel. You know what I'm saying? Got him to bring some money over there, and had the people waiting on him, my brother, and they did him the same way.
So this is crazy because in his paperwork it said you met with Coop.
No, I didn't meet with him. You know what I'm saying? We talked on the phone. And
it literally says the defendant met with Cooper in front of the apartment. Yeah. Like, at no point in time did they not see that this was incorrect?
No, they don't care about that. You got to understand, there's a lot of stuff that they put in their reports and stuff that don't be accurate. They don't care about that. Their objective is to convict. See, the thing is, if you waste time, you and your lawyer, you waste time with them little minor tidbits, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The little inconsistency, because that's not gonna get you nowhere in court. The judge gonna be like, okay, yeah, well, it just, based on what the agent was thinking or whatever at the time when he wrote the report, but we gonna disregard that. This, is basically what he's saying happened or whatever, so this is what we gonna go by.
Now, let me ask you this question, because you always hear this statement that said, where there's a fish, there's a bigger fish. At any point in time, when the feds caught up with you and Daryl, did they ask you to turn on anyone, or did they just put everything like, you guys are the big fish, we're gonna hang you, we're gonna get you, we know that you doing this, we know that you supplying drugs from California to Nevada to Las Vegas to, did they basically say that you guys were the biggest fish they had, or did they ask you to flip on anyone?
Of course, that's what they do. Of course they did. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They gonna try any and everybody, and see, that's what pissed them off so bad with me, because it's like, I mean, I got one of my partners that I'm still cool with to this day, like, was right here, like, with me. Like, anybody who been in the feds know, all I had to do was just say names, and they was coming to get you. But that shit ended with me. When I got arrested, it ended with me. You ain't gonna see my name and nobody paperwork. You ain't gonna see no trial testimony.
That's a real one.
Where I done got on the stand.
That's a real
one.
You know what I'm
saying? Or none of that. I took my lick and went on about my business like you supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you mentioned last week, it's 3 things when you in this game.
It's 3 things. Like I said last week, or the week before last, when I, you know what I'm saying? You got 3 things in the game. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 levels. You got death, you got jail, and you got money. Everybody want to get money. Don't nobody want to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody want to die neither. But you're not in control over how those things derive to you. So meaning, I done seen dudes get money, go to jail, and get killed. I done seen dudes get money and go to jail. I done seen dudes get money and make it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if you're not willing to accept all 3, the game ain't for you, home. Leave that shit alone. Go get you a motherfucking job. So ain't nothing wrong with being a goddamn square. Go get your square up. Go get you a job. It's not built for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. They ain't gonna do that. Because niggas right now listens to me, and I'm gonna get that money, boy. Shit, I get caught. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. That's their mentality. And then you gotta understand, the streets as a whole, the mentality on the streets is different. Because, listen, I can get on the stand, me and you can get arrested, and I'm gonna just keep it 100, how the streets is now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that shit being exposed with these, like with a lot of these rappers and all, man, I can get you 40 years in prison or a life sentence and testify and everything. I can sit in the county jail 18 months. When I come home, they gonna throw me a party. Boy, what took you so long, boy? And everybody know what I did to you. You know what I'm saying? But then you got a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, that, when I hit some of these, I get into that later, but some of these local guys and all that, they go to rapping and they talking about they anti-snitch. And I know for a fact you got niggas in your circle or niggas that's kin to you that's rats.
Let's just
and you know
put them out there. I'm saying we already know it's Michael Toots. I mean, we already know it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, for real, we already know that he was one of the biggest snitches, and then sitting up here saying that he was one. Come on, let's be real. Yeah, you know let's be real. And then he got a whole entire party thrown from him when he got out of county. I mean, come on now, where they do that at?
Prison.
Well, where they do that at? I ain't gonna say
it was cool to give a man a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? And that's another sucker ass. I'm immune to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Half of them get on the stand. Well, why you testifying? Why I had to think about my kids and my family? Motherfucker, you wasn't thinking about your kids and family when you was out there in the streets slinging that dope.
Hold on, you going too far, man. Hold on, man. We finna get to that.
I ain't got no kids. My motherfucking son right there.
Yeah.
My son ain't been in my motherfucking son and my daughters and all them in down there 25 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You missed out on their life.
Yeah.
And they was so worried about let me stop, because we going too far, because karma don't fall too. Listen. Karma don't take long. That's all I'm saying. Karma don't take long. Karma used to take years to come around. But when I tell you, it only takes it could take 30 seconds. But it can take a few months and a few years. karma done hit. So we finna get into that. So there's one more person. Because this, okay, let's get into the trial phase. Okay. How many people can you recall that actually got up on that stand and testified against you? Like, can you just recall a number? It don't have to be the exact number, but as you're sitting there in that courtroom and you're watching each and every person come into that courtroom, can you recall how many people?
They probably, cause they had so many people to come testify, they ain't even need them all. Like they only use a handful. Mm-hmm. So I think they brought about 6 people to come testify at my trial. They brought another 4, 5, 6 people to come testify on me at sentencing, because I had about 5 sentencing hearings, because they kept bringing people in to testify, because they kept adding drugs on me. Because you got to understand, all the drugs in my case was ghost, what was known as ghost dope. So they kept bringing, they was trying to get me a life sentence. And in order to do that, they had to keep piling drugs on me. So they kept bringing guys in to testify during my sentencing hearings and stuff, and putting them on the stand, which they brought Coop too. He was at 3 of them. Mm-hmm. That dude wanted to make sure I never got out of prison.
We gonna get on him. We gonna get on him.
Not only did he testify at my trial, he came and testified at least 3 of my sentencing hearings. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about shit. That bitch walked in the courtroom with his hand already raised. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. And then he walking around like, I don't get it. Like, he walking around Orlando right now like he's untouchable. Because
you gotta understand, like I said, it go back to the mentality of the majority of the people out there, today. I hate to say it, but it's true. It just, a lot of people don't like to deal with reality, but I like to deal with reality. Most dudes in the streets now, they don't care.
Yeah.
Unless it happened to them. Cause they mentality is this, shit, so what? He ain't do it to me. Yeah, finish the sentence. He ain't do it to you yet.
Exactly.
Cause soon as something happen and he need a body, you know what I'm saying, to go in, you gonna meet that.
Okay, for real. Now, somebody had said on the screen, the feds, I believe it was the feds to tell you anything to say, if I'm not mistaken. They made a comment, and bring it back real quick. And this goes to show I'm about to say something about the next part. The feds tell you what to say to convict you. So the crazy part about that statement being made, true. It is because here, Shabonia Jones, who is that?
That was a chick I dealt with, and to give you a background dealing with her, okay, I was dealing with her. She had a dude that she was married to at the time. His name was Larry Jones. They from Apopka, all right? And dude had caught a Fed case, I guess, a year or so prior to me getting arrested by the feds. Well, anyway, I guess during the time when he caught his case, I guess she was in the house or whatever. They didn't arrest her or whatever. They just took Larry to jail or whatever. So fast forward, when I get arrested and they doing their investigation and so forth, they called her in, the agents, and they was like, hey, well, what's up with this guy here? You around this guy, what's going on, and so forth and so on. So basically they kind of twisted her arm to, start trying to provide information to them about me, and that's just the end result. They brought her in to testify and all that, you know what I'm saying?
And so she really got up on the stand. Now, let me ask you this. The paperwork said that she was a witness at the trial.
Yeah.
And she testified that the defendant called her and tried to convince her to lie to the agents and his attorneys.
No, but that's a lie. See, this is what happened. And my mother, and God bless the dead, my grandmother know that this is true. What I'm finna say is true. Mm-hmm. My mother's still here. But I'm saying, when I say God bless the dead,
shout out to Miss J. I love her to death.
What happened was this. I called her because I read some stuff in my paperwork, and it was talking about this cooperating source. So this one particular house that they saying that this cooperating source or whatever went to with me and so forth, and when they described the stuff in the paperwork, I knew it was her because I'm like, Daryl just bought this house. I never went over here. I never went to this house with nobody but her. And she never even went inside. She stayed in the car. So I called her and I asked her, I like, like, damn, like what I did to you to make you, to make you want to do this to me. Like I ain't never done nothing to you.
Did she even say? Did she answer that question?
That girl broke down and started boo-hoo crying over the phone. Now mind you, I had my mom recording this call. Because I'm in Seminole County. I had my mom recording this call. So I'm talking about this wasn't no faking. She was boo-hoo crying, talking about, man, they making me do this and so forth and so on. They threatened to take my baby away from me and all this stuff here.
And that's crazy. So
I end up after the phone call was over, I had my mom make sure, everything was cool with the recording, and it was. So I tell my mom, I say, well, look, make a copy of that tape because I'm going to have to turn that tape over to my attorney, you know what I'm saying? And long story short, what happened was my mom not understanding how the feds operate and how, people green out there, they don't understand how grimy, they don't believe that these people will do certain things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how the feds love it, you know what I'm saying? So my mom somehow never made a copy of the tape. I turned the tape over. Unbeknown to me, it's the original tape. The prosecutor and them get the tape. They go back listening to it. They have a hearing, a recess. They go back listening to the tape. They come back a few minutes later say ain't nothing on the tape. Long story short, they erased everything on the tape.
Wow.
Then they turned it around and enhanced me and gave me points for obstruction of justice, saying that I tried to get her to lie. When you listen to the tape, this girl was boo-hoo crying, like, and you'll see, like, if you listen to the tape, I'm asking her, like, I'm not threatening her. I'm not saying, hey, man, I want you to say this and that. I'm asking her, like, why you doing this? Like, what did I do? And I ain't never did nothing in front of you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's when she broke down and went, hollering about, they making me do this. They threatened to take my daughter and all this stuff. I mean, come to find out, I heard that, it was, her doing it, I guess, trying to get Larry a time cut or whatever. I don't know the truth to it, but I just know what really happened. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm going to say this. You guys cannot see this. I am sitting by Twin. Really. Like, I'm sitting by him right now. And you guys can't see what I see, but I see the emotion and the pain in his eyes. Like, I'm not kidding. And this right here comes from when a person has literally put you through so much, and they have lied and they have persecuted you so much, and you sit there and you take it for 24 years.
24 years, 5 months to be exact.
And that's a long time. That's a really, really long time. And the pain that's in his eyes, I can't even feel it. And I just, I feel so overwhelmed just sitting here and looking at the pain in his eyes right now. But he made it through. And that's why I'm doing this podcast for him, because he has a story to tell, and he's going to tell this story one way or another. And this pain is real. Like, this ain't no faking pain. This pain is real. So that goes to show you everybody can't be trusted in your circle.
Man, the only way you're going to survive, man, is you got to keep your circle as small as your eye pupil. You know what I'm saying? The more people you let in, the more dangerous it get. Because guess what? Out of 10 dudes you let in your circle, you know what I'm saying, 8 of them don't supposed to be there anyway.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Out of 10 dudes that's in your circle, 8 of them don't supposed to be there anyway. But guess what? You ain't going to find out till that pressure, when that real pressure comes. See, because everybody, look, one thing about it, man, everybody a gangster, popping pistols and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, as long as the police ain't around. You know what I'm saying? Soon as them people come with them handcuffs, you know what I'm saying,
they gonna get real. Yeah.
They gonna go to thinking
everything get
real. You got
real.
a lot on there ain't never did a goddamn thing for the kids and all. Next thing I'm thinking about my kids and
Hold up, stop. We finna talk. We finna talk about it right now. We finna talk about it. What did that say? Cause I try to catch you guys state comments. Cause I definitely want to. Them pictures just brought back so many memories, man. He ain't never lied. The game never can be trusted. Orlando really is Orlando nowadays, for real, for real. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. So, at your trial, you were given how many years?
I was sentenced to 480 months. That's 40 years.
And you did 24 years and a half, 24 years and 5 months to be
Yeah.
exact, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what all charges were you charged at that time? Like, if you can just name some of the charges that you were charged.
Well, when I was initially arrested, I was charged with drug charges, guns, and money laundering. They ended up dropping the money laundering because I was able to prove that my businesses were in fact legit, because they were trying to say that I was funneling money from the streets through my businesses. Well, they end up dropping that. I never was indicted for that, and they just went with the drug charges and gun charges.
Okay. And as we all know, he did have several businesses. He had the car wash. You had it turned into the audio and
car stereo,
yes.
car stereo installation and all that. I mean, man, bro, we had a number of things.
Yeah,
going
you
on,
had the
know what I'm
dump
saying?
truck. You had the beauty salon. You had a
But-
record studio.
Yeah, recording studio. I mean, me and bro, cause now I'm gonna say this too. Like with a lot of with a few businesses, bro was, he had his thing going on, but I would, do certain things in the background, ask for, investing, and vice versa. But we had a few things going on. You know what I'm saying? We had a few things going on legitimately. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that they hated, because me and bro was literally like some of the youngest dudes in the city during that time doing that. Like I sit back now and I applaud the guys. Don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna never belittle nobody and put nobody down, but I applaud the guys now, and I see them and I just smile, because a lot of guys into the trucks and this and that, and I'm like, man, we did that shit 26 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just not started.
Let me tell you.
I mean, y'all just not getting into the houses. We did that 25, 30 shit. I bought my first house when I was 20. You know what I'm saying?
You can hear them coming from 2 blocks away. You hear me? When that radio, you knew they was coming down the street. I'm telling you, like, you knew they was coming down the street. At least from 2 or 3 blocks. I guarantee you, your mama told y'all, you better cut that music out before you get to my house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. You hear the music coming down the street. I'm talking about, I'm not going to lie, you boys was the first to do it. I'm talking about cars, big cars.
I wouldn't say the first. We were just some of the youngest dudes in the city doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you had, I ain't going to never, one thing about it, I ain't going to never, knock, the ones before me. You know what I'm saying? You had dudes, back in the days, man, doing their thing, but it just like when me and Daryl era, like we kind of just took it, on a different level. I'm gonna just say that. You know what I'm saying?
So, after all that time that you spent, I'm not going to get into, your time spent in prison. I know that there was a lot of rough days. There was a lot of rough days, and there was probably a lot of good days as well.
Well, I ain't gonna say it was no good days. I mean, because every day you there is a rough day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Especially when you face and you got a Buck Rogers date. You know what I'm saying? Or even no date, because you got some people that shit, they ain't got no date. They say life. But prison is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? And I just refuse to let it get the best of me. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with every day, you know what I'm saying, because I had to. But I chose, it's different ways you could choose to do it. You could choose to do it with your head down. You know what I'm saying? Worryation and all that, which I done seen that a lot, or you could choose to hold your chin up and go about it and do it in the most positive way that you can. And that's the way I chose to do it.
Now, let me get to this really quick before we bring up these two, before we bring up, hey, you started. Go ahead.
Hold on to me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want you. You probably gonna get to this, but it'll fresh in my mind. While you did the time, I want you to, because people, a lot of people know, we hear about the time, we hear about, a lot of these guys getting out and done the decade, done the shit, like, man, explain how important it was for you. So I'm looking at, they don't see what I see, right?
Oh, wait. We finna get to that. Stop. That's what I'm finna get to right now. See, you doing it. You ahead of me. You ahead of me. And that's what I was literally finna get to right now. So what I want to do is I'm going to get to that question he's getting ready to ask you before we actually bring up this, because I know that at some point in time you started putting in motions to get out and start trying to get, get early release, and we're going to get into that. But however, what did I say? Let's see. And pre-Michael shook up on 1918. The real ones dead in the jail or just came home or about to pray. Okay. Yes. While you were in prison of feds, while you were there, you accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah, I stayed busy.
And what I want to know is two things. I want to know what kept you grounded and focused to accomplish these several things that you accomplished, and tell us, what did you accomplish during that time?
Okay, well, what kept me focused was I didn't want to. One thing about me, I sit back and I observe my surroundings. Even when you think I'm not observing, I could be talking and laughing, but I'm really paying attention. I pay attention to everything. All right. And I learn quick. I pick up things quickly. So I started picking up quickly, like from talking with guys and all, and seeing how guys, they sitting around and not really doing nothing to elevate their way of thinking. Like most dudes, like for real, like you could turn prison into a playground or a university. The problem is most of the guys that go to 85 to 90% of the dudes that go to prison, they turn it into a playground, meaning they just go there, play spades, poker, work out, watch Jerry Springer and love and hip hop and all that. And what end up happening as time go on, their bodies age, but mentally they not aging. So when they come home, that's why you have a lot of guys that come home from doing a decade or so and they still acting like a youngster. You know what I'm saying? Because the only thing age was their body, because they didn't do anything to elevate their way of thinking. I never wanted that for me. I say, well, because I knew I wasn't going to do the time that I was sentenced to. So I say, well, when I get there, I at least want to accomplish some things, to make me a better person. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started programming, and the programming went from me programming to me teaching and writing curriculums, for the Bureau.
And you earned a diploma.
3.
So we got bookkeeping, legal assistant with paralegal, another bookkeeping.
No, that's
the same one. Okay.
For some reason they didn't put the creative writing one.
Okay.
I just graduated the beginning of this year for creative writing.
Okay. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people can't. There you go. We got it.
I also took over 30 adult continuing education courses from real estate, stock market, currency exchange, just to name a few, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to take a bunch of courses that will give me a skill set that I can use, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to see that too. You had a lot of dudes, they take about a bunch of them easy courses, like, you can go to rec and take a bunch of bicycling courses and stuff like that. And it's like, I be thinking to myself, what can you do with that on the street?
You can build a bike.
Well, I mean, no, it's not really building a bike. It's bicycling. It's like an exercise class. know what I'm
they
saying?
probably trying to get their knees right.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, and that's another thing that get me right, and it tickled me because I, especially like with the women, the women they see the guys come home, they done did a little time, they come home, they big, they buff, and it's like he ain't got nothing uphill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He just as dumb as he is when he went in.
Uphill. It's good to look at, but it's nothing uphill. You know
Man, ain't nobody into all that big buffs no more. Listen, we taking them like they is now. We at that age, like, give me a belly. I want somebody with a belly. Yeah.
What made you, man, one of the things big.
Yeah, for real. That paralegal is very big. So what made you pursue
It's
that?
freed you, right? Not the lawyers, all the money you spend for lawyers.
No, listen.
What you know.
And that's what tickled me too, right? It tickled me in prison, like, you got the guys come in, they fresh in or whatever, fighting their case, just got convicted, Senate. Oh, I got a lawyer, and it tickled me. I had 3 of them. You know what I'm saying?
And still.
And guess what? I got further doing my own stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what made me take the course. It's like, man, these lawyers just taking my money, man. I had one lawyer, I gave him $27,000 cash money. That man ain't even filed a retainer. He didn't even file a notice of appearance. He just took my money and just disappeared.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So when it tickled me, and then when since being home, you got certain individuals, they went to the feds, did a little fed time, professed to be, this big, and only did a year. I'd be like you could fool a lot of them.
But you can't fool me.
You can't fool me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got a record long as I-95, and you ain't did a year in the feds, and you was a major, supposed to have been a major trafficker, homie. I guarantee you, your name is all through people paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And I can promise you that. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the things that I put in, matter of fact, the petition that was submitted to Joe Biden that he signed, he ran it.
You going too far.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna take it easy.
Gosh, man, see, he trying to tell y'all everything before. God, you going too far.
Right,
So look, okay, we're gonna get into that in a few seconds. So one thing that I did see that you took up creative writing. When you took that up, of course, I want to know, is there a book coming soon?
I mean, there's a few books. You know what I'm saying? I got a memoir that I've been working on, that I got a pile of notes and everything, because I always said that I wanted my kids to know exactly who I am. No filter, no nothing. All the things that I've done, all the dumb shit to the good shit. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm writing that. And then I got this story that I'm writing for me and Daryl. And I'm getting different because talking with different people, different directors and stuff, it's so much material. So it's nothing written in stone yet, but it could be documentary, it could be movie, we just seeing where it's going. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a few books that I wrote. I mean, like nonfiction, like self-help books. Matter of fact, I just completed one. It's called Swing Trade 101, and that's where I break down how to swing trade in the stock market. You know what I'm saying?
And we're going to talk about that too. We are going to get into that. And I think that will help a lot of individuals, because a lot of our culture doesn't know too much about stock marketing. They don't know about the stock market. They don't know what to do. And I know that's going to benefit a lot of us. Is it on Amazon? Have you put it out? Have you published it?
No. I just completed it. I'm getting ready to put it out. I'm gonna publish it as an ebook, because it's only about it's less than 120 pages, because what I did was I took years of research. If anybody who buys this book, I'm saving you a good 10 years of research, and I condensed it down and made it so simple a 14-year-old can read it and understand what to do. Because that's another problem. Like certain things is written so, written in these. I mean, you got a lot of people that I learned over the years. You got a lot of people that's knowledgeable about stuff, but they don't know how to write it to simplify it, to make it to where common people can understand it. And that's a skill that I have. I take complex information and I break it down and make it very simple. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to impress you with a 27-letter word when I can use a 5-letter word that will do the same thing. So when you read anything from me, you're gonna be like, damn, I ain't know it was that simple. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone that's tuned in, when this book come out, you better go buy it or I'm coming to find y'all. We're going to support him. We are going to support our young black man. So let's get back into, we done got through the time. You're in prison. You doing your time. You done accomplished so much. Now you're doing your own legal work. And you're filling out paperwork to go before the judge to reduce your sentences.
Yeah. I kept still, and that's another thing. Anybody because you got dudes that's on the streets now, right? That was at different spots with me, whether it was at Coleman Pen 1, whether it was at Big Sandy, whether it was at Manchester, Kentucky, whether it was at Coleman Medium, whether it was at Coleman Low. You got people that's been on the compounds with me, and they'll tell you, man, I stayed in the library. You know what I'm saying? I kept something in court. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part is, the way the courts were just dragging me. You know what I'm saying? Sitting on, I file stuff and it's 100% on point, and they'll sit on my motion for years. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason for that, which, you may get into that.
So we're going to get into that. But there was two individuals.
Okay.
That you got ready to go before the judge and you was hoping to get out, or a reduced sentence. But two individuals stopped you for no reason. They did not even have to say the things that they said, yet alone go before the judge and make such false allegations. And one of them would be Lawson Tyrone Robinson, and we know him as...
That's anybody from back in the days know his nickname. They used to call him MC Boo. He used to run with Magic Mike back in the days. You know what I'm saying? You got two different Boos. I think he was from Motown too. You got another Boo that was from Motown, but I ain't talking about that one. We talking about Lawson Lamar, which he was called MC Boo. He came and testified on me. Then,
And who was the other individual?
Then you got Terrence McCarthy. He was from Richmond Heights. He was known as T. You know what I'm saying? He came and testified on me. You know what I'm saying?
But I solely remember him dealing with Daryl.
Well, it was one of them situations where Daryl may have primarily or whatever dealt with them, but it was a situation where I did things, like once or twice with them myself. Now, what ended up happening with them is they end up catching it, because that's how the feds work. They end up catching the case, Fed case or whatever, and they started cooperating, unbeknown, So long story short, when I get arrested by the feds or whatever, they came and testified on me about dealings, that, I supposed to be had did with them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they testified at my trial.
So they testified at your trial and they came back.
No, they didn't bring them back because they was already, and it's crazy to me, and it just go to show you like the cowardism when it comes to men, like and the extent the government will go. T testified against me, and he only had less than a year to go home. Boo, MC Boo, came and testified against me from the halfway house. He was already in the halfway house when he came to testify against me.
So what was even the purpose? They didn't have to say nothing.
I'm quite sure the feds did something like you got the paperwork in your hand. The government filed a motion to reduce their sentence. You know what I'm saying?
So, what I want you to tell everyone, because I can read this all like verbatim, but I'm not going to do that. I want you to really, really, and trust me, what he's going to say is the truth because I have the paperwork right in front of me. I want you to break it down what they told the courts and the feds in order to keep you and Daryl locked up.
See, the thing is this, right? That's another thing. You know, when dudes do what they do, they're going to make deals with the government. They're going to make deals with the prosecutor and all that, you know. And when, for the ones who actually go to trial and they're forced to bring their witnesses to put on the stand, the guys who get on the stand, they're going to make deals with the government and be, you know, hey, look, you can't let this dude out. You know, I'm in fear of retaliation and so forth and so on. And that's what in the motion that the government filed to reduce both T and MC Boo, that's what they said in the motion. Like these guys testified against David and Daryl and they in fear of their life because they've been known to retaliate and so forth and so on. But it's like, damn, you know, y'all out here, you got your chest poked out like you some, you know, big man, and you know what I'm saying, you know, but it's like behind closed doors, it's like you run into the people like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you know, excuse my friend.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
But ain't nobody safe on here. Remember, say what you want to say.
You know, you telling the people, hey man, don't let them this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. First and foremost, you should never do nothing you ashamed of.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't want it to be known, you don't want it to be brought out, don't do it.
I'm a firm believer. Don't throw a rock and hide your hands later.
But see, you got to understand this too. Anybody who know about my situation, know, shit, if it wasn't for the things that happened in my case that caused me to be released, shit, it was another 12, 13 years, 14 years, I would have been still locked up. A Joker wouldn't have had to worry about me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who gonna listen to me after coming home 30-some years later? You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't have had to worry about it. I mean, you got to think, I'm 50. A few of these dudes, they a little older, you know, a year or 2 or 3 years older than me. So it's like, you know, our generation, we run around with grandkids and stuff now. So the youngsters in the street now, they don't care about what happened 35 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? The crazy part about it, you would be amazed because there's a lot of people that definitely want to hear your story. I don't care how old they are. So she say, who is T? So T,
his real name is Terrence McCarthy. He was from, matter of fact, there's an incident that happened with him that probably would spark a lot of older people. His name is Terrence McCarthy. He's from Richmond Heights. All right. A few years back, he used to be jumping on his girl and stuff real bad, and she stabbed him and killed him. You know what I'm saying? And that's who that was. You know what I'm saying? That's the one who got on the stand on me. That's who that was. He was from Richmond Heights. His nickname was T, but his real name was Terrence McCarthy.
So a lot of y'all know who he is. So we ain't gonna like really touch bases on that.
This is what get
y'all
me,
know.
right?
Y'all know.
This is what get me about him. You know, this just popping up in my mind. Like, I remember when I had my first page. You know what I'm saying? My first, because this is my second Facebook page. You know, because anybody know I done had a phone. You know, I was dealing with phones and stuff behind that wall for a few years. So you know, then I see, you know, I just shook my head. I see something pop up on my news feed. I guess it was his birthday or something like that. A couple years ago, and you had somebody, a real this and real that. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, for real, the first thing I did was I looked, okay, damn, this dude a friend on my block. It's like, man, you real? This nigga real. So, I mean, it's like the standard of men, you know, it's like the standard of men just done dropped tremendously since I've been home, man. It's like what I'm seeing, like what motherfuckers view as real, and I'm like, man. So that's what let me know though, for real, twin, you know what? Stay in the legal lane, man. That street life, that ain't for you, because guess what? The cloth you cut from, they don't make that shit no more.
Yeah, it's different.
They don't make that shit no more, man.
And
you know
I'm gonna be honest with you. You couldn't pay me when you seen my face. You seen my face when I read out of everybody his paper.
Yeah,
Because I could not believe for the life of me that he did that. You could have told me anybody else, but not him.
listen, think about this. Anybody with common knowledge, all right? I just did my time, all right? I done my time, all right? I had you know what I'm saying? I had a clemency that was granted by Joe Biden, all right? I was one of the last I was in that last bundle of petitions that Biden signed right before he left, all right? Matter of fact, got a copy of the petition and everything with the seal, the government seal with his signature on it, with my name on it and everything, all right? So if anybody want to question that.
Yes, he was.
But now, it's like, think about this. I'm here, people, you know, used to ask me things, and I'm here to tell what happened, my story. Think about this. I don't have nothing to gain from coming and just, why would all these people in this city, all the people that's in this city, what makes me just handpick certain dudes
ones. Yep.
to lie on?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna pick, cause, man, come on, man, stop it, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stop it. You mean I done concoct a whole trial brief, transcripts. I done made up all this shit from prison to implicate a certain individuals.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it, man.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. It's sad that the circle who you keep. And I remember when he was out moving, it was like nothing mattered. Like it's like nothing he did. Like he did nothing. And that's why I'm I just, for the life of me, I'm just like, are you serious?
Yes. You know why? Because I'm sitting in prison with a Buck Rogers date. All right? Dudes was never thinking that I'll come home. Oh, man, he's through.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He's done.
Exactly.
So it ain't gonna never come out about what I did.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It ain't gonna never come out about what and see, my thing is this. And not just speaking on them, but just speaking on dudes like them. It's like you got a lot of dudes in the city, man, then, you know, that's really on that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man, y'all ain't got nowhere and thought to y'allself, man, eventually somebody gonna live to tell the story.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of them don't care. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta also understand this too. The whole mentality of the younger generation done changed too, because shit, they really don't care neither. Shit. Cause they in their mind, shit, he ain't do it to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but finish the sentence. Yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yet.
So
Just finish the sentence.
You know, it's crazy, but one thing I can say that I am so happy that you are home. I am so happy that you got a second chance. And that goes to show you that never give up in life. No matter, a lot of people will take their time and just lay down and be like, I'm just going to do my time and do, you know, and they don't fight. But you fought. And you did the right thing. You did your own paperwork. You got degrees. You did so much. You accomplished so much. So no matter what, you should be proud of yourself. I'm a firm believer. You may not believe this, but I'm a firm believer. Sometimes God will place us in a situation to save us.
I believe that.
So he may have put you in this situation to save you. And you're here to tell the story today. So I'm going to say kudos to you, because not only are you speaking on your behalf, you're speaking on your brother's behalf. So now we're not going to touch too much on this because a lot of people, this is a touchy situation for us both. Daryl, how many years did Daryl catch?
Daryl ended up taking a 5-year plea. All right, and the feds basically screwed him because the deal with my brother was this. All right, with the feds, Daryl was willing to forfeit. Daryl forfeited like a little over $1 million in asset. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, when I say forfeit, meaning he gave it to him, didn't fight. Y'all keep that. That was in exchange for a 5-year plea, and they was supposed to let Daryl out for like 6 months from, give him a bond into a sentencing. So that means he'd have been out on bond for about 6 months. So that's how Daryl got out. And I heard about the misconception and all, people, what they thinking. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know. I mean, shit, if me and my brother wanted to tell on somebody, you would have been, your ass would have been in prison.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
But anyway, Daryl forfeited over $1 million worth of asset to them people, and they let him out. All right. While he was out, Daryl bought some property. Daryl bought a nice house in Davenport. He bought one of his baby mamas a small little house for her to be able to. He bought it outright. So, he finna leave her with his kids. So he wanted to make sure she didn't have no bills and nothing. So he got her something, And when they found out he was doing all this, that's when they called him in, and it was like, why you didn't give us everything and this and that and so forth? Because they thought they had broke Daryl, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So they called him in, why you didn't give us everything? And they said, long story short, they were trying to revoke his bond and so forth and so on. But the judge wouldn't revoke the bond because he had violated the conditions of the bond. You know what I'm saying? So in retaliation for that, they turned around and sentenced Daryl to almost 12 years. That's how he ended up doing nearly 10 years in the feds. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened with his situation. He did about 10 years, roughly.
So he did come home. A lot of people don't know, but he came home in 2011. He got out in 2011, right? Or 2012?
11, 12, round up. And I can't remember the exact time, but it was around 11, 12, maybe the beginning of 13.
Okay. And he, how long did he stay out?
A little over 5 years.
Okay. Because I started to say, I thought it was about between 4 to 5.
Because he was on 5 years paper and he did all his paper.
Okay.
And when another situation happened, he was fully off federal paper.
Okay. Now, he did end up going back. They did come back and pick him up, correct?
Yeah, but that was a state situation.
Okay. And during that time, he was at 33rd? Or did they?
Yeah, he was at 33rd.
He was at 33rd, and he fought hard. He wanted to make sure that he cleared his name as well. He wanted to make sure that he did his time, and he didn't want no one else to railroad him again. What made them pick him up again?
I never forget. I was in Kentucky at Big Sandy then, during the time when Daryl had got out, and I couldn't really talk to him the way I wanted to talk to him because during this time I didn't have a phone. You know what I'm saying? So I used to always try and tell him, look, bro, chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because them people really did not want to let you out. Because you got to understand, I got more information than Daryl because I went to trial. I got, investigative DEA 6s and so forth and so on. So I know way more than what Daryl know. You know what I'm saying? I got a pile of transcripts, literally this high, of recorded phone calls of somebody working with them people, trying to contact my brother. It wasn't me. And that's why I used to be like, I used to tell it like, bruh, if you read these transcripts, you're gonna know who this is because y'all talking
to him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's where they started confusing. Sometimes confuse you too, right?
No, it wasn't no confusion. It just, it was just part of, a lot of stuff they just, a lot of stuff they just lumped into the case file. Shit, just the stuff dealing with me primarily was over 600 pages.
Jeez.
Like, So long story short, I used to try and talk to him and tell him, look, bro, just chill out, man. Look, we gonna do this, that, because by then I had done, already wrote some stuff, and I was gonna, since Daryl was home, I was gonna start some stuff with him legally, like a publishing company and all that. Since he out there, and do some stuff to bro, but he kind of, kept putting it on the back burner, and next thing you know, he ended up, getting caught up again with somebody else, and I'm like, damn, you gave these people what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like this is what they wanted. Don't get it twisted. Since I've been home, I mean, shit. I know, that I'm being followed around, and so I didn't even seen it one time. I'm way out there on Mills. I'm waiting on the expressway, and I'm getting ready to turn off. I'm getting ready to miss my turn, my exit. You know what I'm saying? So I caught at the last minute to get off. And then you got a car, couple cars behind. The same thing. Come on, that ain't no point. I mean, I know when I'm being followed and all that. So, but it don't bother me because I'm gonna be the boringest movie you ever watched.
I know that's right.
You know what
we got, so they gonna be following you a lot, a whole lot.
And for real, I ain't gotta do that. I for real, like I don't knock. I come from the street, so I don't knock the lifestyle. I just understand, and that's why I speak on things like, it's three things, like I said, that you got to be willing to accept. I understand that wholeheartedly. I ain't gonna never talk bad about somebody because they in that world. But what I'm saying, I'm speaking on me now today. Like mentally, I've outgrown that. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, hustling in the street is primitive. Like that's like where we living at today, and as opposed to the caveman. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Mentally, it's like it's so much stuff that I can do. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what you call maturity, too.
I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, I don't need. And then I'm coming home. It's like, here it is. I just shake my head. I'm coming home after doing all this time, and it's like, damn, these dudes, like, they doing worse than me. Like, I mean, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I ain't living like how I was, but I'm all right.
Okay.
Like, and it's like, these dudes, they ain't even all right. Y'all ain't even did no time. It's like, what the fuck is y'all doing?
That's all right. You're gonna be real all right in a little bit. So we gonna have books coming out. We gonna have all kind of stuff coming out, and we just touching the surface. People have no idea what's going to happen here. There was a comment that I want to reread this comment. There was a comment that was made that I read right here. Everybody is real until it's time to be real. The bottom line is millions didn't make it, but you were the ones who did. That was a very powerful statement. And I seen that comment, and that's why I went back to that comment, because no matter what, you made it. Now, as we sit here, a lot of people on the podcast may be like, well, where is Daryl? Where is Daryl? We're talking about Daryl. Where is Daryl? So we know that Daryl went back, and I want to make sure I clear the air, because I don't want any type of rumors. I don't want any type of people saying this or people saying that, because this is not nothing to play with. And we're going to clear the rumors now. So a lot of people question, where is your twin at this time? Where is he?
Daryl passed away in July of 23. All right. My brother, for years, even before the feds, my brother suffered from high blood pressure. Like, I seen some of the old pictures flash. You can see where, because Daryl, his weight fluctuated. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, me and bro twins, but we fraternal twins, meaning we came from two different eggs that just got fertilized at the same time. So a lot of like blood pressure issues and so forth, Daryl had, I never had, even to this day. Like, I go to the doctor, I just had a checkup, blood work and everything done right before I got out of prison, and they was like, damn, they be looking at the chart and looking at me like, even with the dentist, because I ain't never had a cavity. They like, damn, how in the hell you this healthy? Like, you don't have no high cholesterol, blood. But bruh always suffered from high blood pressure. So what ended up happening, when Daryl was incarcerated, you know, he's stressing about that and so forth. So he's not taking his medication the way he was supposed to have been taking it, and he ended up suffering a stroke. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who done been to prison, period, whether state or federal, will tell you, like, them people will let you die, and they'll lie to your family and tell your family they gave you the best care that you can get, but they be lying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And anybody who knows about, you know, health, strokes take a lot out of you.
A toll on
you
your
have
body.
You have to go
That's
through
right.
therapy, rehabilitation, and all. Sometimes you have to learn how to reuse your limbs,
Yeah.
like wherever it happened at, on your left side or right. And they didn't do none of that. And then what made matters worse with him, he suffered one, and then just within a couple months, he suffered two back to back. So it took so much away from out of his body. Just couldn't. His body couldn't take it no more, and he just passed away.
So we're gonna always remember him, and he lives on in you.
Oh, you definitely believe, because, you know, I promised him, you know, like anybody who knows that Daryl was, because I'm gonna keep it real. I always give it to the credit where credit due. Daryl is the reason why people know us.
Mm-hmm.
I was never the one in the streets and never the one really seen. Now, I had a few toys and I come out sparingly.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you know, I'm gonna be riding in something plain, you know, I ain't that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of dude, like, shit, you know, that big jewelry and all, I had all that. I don't even wear that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I might wear it every once in a while or whatever. And, you know, because I believe, I'm like this here, you know, I always bought things for me. I didn't buy things for other people. So what a person thought I had, I never cared. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's another problem with the majority of the game, meaning the street game, like dudes in the street, they buy stuff and do things for the audience and just don't know, bruh, half of them dudes that's around you smiling don't really like you.
For real.
You know
For
what I'm
real.
saying? They don't
And-
really like you.
And they setting
You know
you
what I'm
up
saying?
to be robbed.
You know, and you know, like I say, I always give credit to bruh, because when it come to people knowing this, bruh is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? So with him passing, like I told him, because, you know, I still talk to my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm getting ready to put some things together. You know what I'm saying? To commemorate my brother. You know what I'm saying? And bring it back and let him know. You know what I'm saying? Who he was, and, you know, how he used to set this motherfucker on fire when he on the weekend when he get ready to pull that stuff out. I'm getting ready to do the same thing. I ain't gonna speak on it. I ain't gonna elaborate because I don't do
Not
that.
yet, not yet,
You know what I'm
not yet,
saying?
not yet.
But I guarantee you, I'm gonna just say it. It's gonna be on a new level now. So, you know what I'm saying? When they in a minute they finna get ready to start seeing some stuff slide through the city, and they gonna think it's either
Oh
Ross,
Lord.
you know, or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
You know.
Lord. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And
Let
it's
him-
funny
let
because-
him know, you know, bro, he's still living.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's definitely
You know?
funny because anytime you would hear people in the street, they never said David and Daryl. They always say Daryl and David.
Yeah.
They always addressed Daryl first, and you was the first twin, and you was the very first. So, and you were so right. Like, people often say to me, I mean, I guess because I've been around both of you, and they would be like, oh, well, Daryl was the quiet one, David was the one that I'm like, no. I think it's the opposite. But I seen both of you in action, and both of you, I mean, you guys well respected young men in this city. Your mom, I don't care what no one said, no feds, no nothing. No one can speak on how well your mom raised you guys, because let me tell you something. It take a real nigga. You hear me? A real nigga to do 40 years, get 40 years to the head and don't say nothing. Don't snitch a name, don't say a name, and they do their time and they lay their time down. That's a real dude. Because you got dudes around here right now talking about, oh, I'm doing this. I'm helping out here. I'm helping with basketball. I'm teaching kids. I used to be I used to be bigger than Daryl and David. And nigga, I find out you snitching. Come on now. Come on. But we ain't gonna get into that. But
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, right? you're gonna have a lot of people, and for real, it's a lot of stuff that people don't know, because people only know the outside. They on the outside looking in with me and bro. They don't understand how the real magnitude, the level that it was really on for real, for real. So when you're on the outside looking in, you thinking, and I get that a lot. You get the dudes, back in the days, what I'm saying, they used to tickle me, and I still see it today, but I stay out of it, like. Me and bro, we ride around in the trucks and this and that. You got these other dudes, they ride around in the truck, but the difference is, I only own one. I only had 2 vehicles that I bought off the lot that I was making payments on. Everything else you seen, me and bro, we had the title to.
Yep, you were paid for.
Daryl probably had 1 or 2 cars that I could think of that he bought off the lot and was paying on. Everything else, we got the title to our shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think my favorite car that y'all had was the Lexus.
Oh,
when,
okay, yeah.
When they came out when you came out with the chameleon colors.
Well, no, that was actually Daryl had the chameleon, was there. And I had a snow white one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
those were my 2
that was
favorite.
the difference. Like I say, you look at that. Like bro had and back then we had the biggest one they had. Cause I know they got bigger ones now, but bro, he had the 400. I had the 400. But Daryl gonna take it. That's just how he was, yeah.
Yep, there you go. You can't really see
level.
the chameleon on there, but that was my favorite car.
Yeah.
That was, and then your white
matter
one
was
was
matter of fact, that car next, the SS Impala with the Camille on it next to it, that was Daryl car too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean.
And then you had the trucks. Both of y'all had the trucks. Each one of y'all had the trucks. Show the picture of the trucks.
That was an old school one that I had that I restored. You know what I'm saying? That was on one of my expeditions right now.
I mean, you couldn't tell y'all nothing. Y'all was at, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
And as we know, that was that Black College reunion.
That was another bourbon,
And I'm telling you, when you heard them boys coming too.
That was one of my lats right there. Actually, that Cadillac right there, I ended up selling that car to Daryl, and that's the same Cadillac that Daryl ended up repainting and putting the Freddy Krueger
on the head,
busting out the trunk. But that's the car right there. That's when I had it. Like I say, we was just different because I had a brown one and I had a sky blue one too. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference between me and bro. Even when I had cars, I put little rims and this and that, and I won't really, some cars I paint, some trucks. But I didn't really do that. But bro, every car he get, he gonna snap with it.
And one thing I want you to do moving forward, although he's no longer here with us, he is still here. I want you to always hold on to him. I want you to always keep him alive. Everything that you do moving forward, you make sure, just like you say, you make sure that you're gonna make sure your brother is well known that he is still here. And we gonna do that, and we not gonna forget about him. And I know you have some projects coming up. I know about them. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna speak on them or nothing, but I'm so proud of you going forward and moving forward. It was a pleasure. It was such a pleasure just you giving me the space, the time, the opportunity. Because let me tell you something. A lot of people may be rattled about this interview, but I don't care. You can be mad. You can be upset. If you didn't do anything, you shouldn't be upset.
Well, I'm going to say this, right? It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You should not be ashamed of nothing you do. You know what I'm saying? If anybody upset, like I say, I mean, shit, if anybody want to, they want to address it or they want to, bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? If they feel like I'm lying or, bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, like I said again, I have nothing to gain or lose. I have nothing to gain by coming home and just hand-picking different individuals to say that they testified on me and you didn't really do it.
Yeah.
What am I going to gain from it? You know what I'm saying? So, anybody who has anything to say, they either going to be one of them cats or they going to be either kin to or affiliated with one of them cats. You know what I'm saying? And that don't make me no never mind. Only thing I'm going to tell you, just just stay out my way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Leave me be, because one thing I will say, like, you know, and you know this, Jay, like, I'm a very humble dude. Like, anybody who really know, they'll tell you,
Yes,
I
he
ain't
is.
looking for
Yes,
no
he
trouble. I
is.
ain't no rowdy dude. I ain't none of that. I'm the
Yes,
type of
he
dude. I'm
is.
gonna be in, you know, I be in the club. I'm gonna be in the VI. I'm gonna be popping bottles. I'm gonna be, you know, I ain't one of them dudes running around with the face
Go pop your
balled up.
ballers.
You
Go
know what I'm
pop
saying?
your
With the face
ballers.
balled up. You know what I'm saying? When they're flashing and they want
Yeah.
everybody to know they got it on. I'm gonna have it, and you ain't gonna know it till
That's
it's too
right.
late.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I ain't one of them type of dude, but don't get it misconstrued.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
when I go left, it's gonna be a hard left. You know what I'm saying?
and he ain't lying, because I
You
done
know,
seen
it's
him.
gonna be a hard left now. You know what
I
I'm
done
saying?
seen him, so he ain't lying. So please, just y'all, just leave it alone.
You know.
But what I say was, this was his opportunity to give his, because let me tell you, he earned the right to be here. He did 24 years and 5 months. He earned every minute to be here, every second. He earned it to be here. And he had so much on his chest, and he wanted to make sure, listen, you got some real men out here and you got some fake men out here. You got these wannabe gangsters and you got real gangsters, and you define the two. So some of these, they still in the streets. So y'all better watch who y'all keep a
Most of them still
company
in the
with.
street.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say that, man. Most of them still in the street. Them dudes ain't in prison, and if they is, they only there 2 weeks, because they gonna do whatever to get home. You know what I'm saying? The problem is this, and I say that for the youngsters as well as the women, because you know I see a lot of women, they get caught up on, you know, a lot of chicks get caught up on the superficial, what they see. You know what I'm saying? And they don't, you know, and it's funny to me, because after coming home all these years, you would think, and even in that aspect, like, they would be even more sharper. And I'm telling, like, I done been there. I lived there. I ain't got no reason. I lived that life for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? And that dude with them 12 chains around his neck and 5-6 he ain't got no money for real. You know what I'm saying? Now, he got enough in his pocket to make you think he got some money. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that Lamb or whatever he leasing, you know, he can make you think he got it. You know what I'm saying? But man,
he ain't got it.
Real monsters, like real dudes, like really, really, you have exceptions to the rules where some be flashy. But real dudes that's in them streets really eating, you ain't gonna see them. And when you, guess what, you'll walk by them in Walmart, you won't even know they is who they is, because they don't care about what you think.
Yeah.
They don't, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, millionaires, I have seen millionaires. I'm talking about, I know one for a fact that literally dress in dirty tennis shoes, put on some shorts and a polo shirt, and keep going.
I'm gonna say this, right?
And
I
a
end on
millionaire.
that I'm in on this note. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Rich people live like they poor. Poor people live like they rich.
There you
You know what
go.
I'm saying? So, you know, I know you're gonna have a few that's gonna beg to differ, because, and it's just like what you said, you know, hurt dog will holler. Oh yeah, no, you're not home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing it like that, because guess what? If you was, and you done been to, you know, prison, man, it's gonna be documented. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's some, you know, I mean, I ain't got to do all that, man. I can show you messages where people from years ago done messing me today with, you know, thanking me for being, you know, welcoming me home, and telling me about stuff that I done forgot. You know, I done gave this person a job, and you know what I'm saying?
Look. Hold on. Go back. I'm putting that back up. Look. My baby's word and are real men. A mother love lives on. Yes, it do, Miss J. Yes, it do. And you gotta be proud of this one. You gotta be proud of both of them, actually. You gotta be proud of all of them, actually. Not just these two, but all of them. But I'm so very proud of you. I'm so very proud of you. I wish you nothing but blessings going forward. I know you're going to do big things. There's going to be obstacles that come, but you strong enough. You strong enough to overcome them obstacles.
Jay, what I just experienced for the past 24 years out here in this free world, breathing this air and just being able to move, and it's cotton candy out here.
I
be
know
hearing,
that's right.
I be hearing jokers talking, oh, it's hard. They say, okay, it's hard. Go back behind that motherfucking 40-foot wall and live and have to live like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, trust me, you gonna be right there. It's gonna be the greatest show on earth. I'm gonna just say it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Things is being put together as we speak, and I would say this. I salute all my soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Here in the all my real soldiers. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? But
and it's
I'm
no
gonna
love
say this
lost
though right here. In a minute, this one right here. You know what I'm saying? Gonna put this city on the map. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it on the map. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna set the president for the guys behind me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring them in too. Cause I know we got some real young soldiers too. And one thing about me, you know what I'm saying? I understand how it go. You know what I'm saying? I understand you do certain things, and then you got the ones come behind you, and they do things too. And I'm all about building. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of the ones who, want everybody to acknowledge me and pay homage and say, no, let's work together.
Yes.
All my soldiers, let's work together.
Yes.
Let's get this motherfucker right.
There you go. There you go. Big things coming. So, but it's been a pleasure. We said we was gonna only do an hour. We did more than an hour.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you. I cannot stress so much how proud of you I am, and I could say it all night, all day, but you keep going, keep being the king that you are, and you keep pressing on, and I guarantee you everything that you lost, everything that you lost in 24, you can't get back the time, but everything that you lost, I am praying that God bless you with double folds from moving here on out. Nothing but blessings to you. Double for your trouble and everything. And you be able to help young men, young women moving forward to reach their potential and reach their goals in everything in life they do. Guys, we are getting ready to end here. We're going to have the giveaway. But before we have this giveaway, you ready? You ready for the surprise?
I'm going to follow your lead, Jay.
Okay, y'all. So we're going to tell you guys what the surprise is. Are you guys ready? Let me see at least 3 yeses in the comments to see if you guys are still with us. Are you guys ready for this surprise? I need to see at least 3 yeses. Make sure you guys are still tuned in with us. And then we're going to do a giveaway at the end after this surprise. You see them yet? Are they commenting yet? So we can't get a surprise if they ain't typing. Okay, yes. There's 2. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Okay, there's 5. All right, guys. You see how everybody's saying yes? You ready? Go ahead, Eric. Birdman, be quiet. You got it planned? Miss Mon say, keep your head up, cuz Godspeed. Yes, the video. Lord have mercy, I'm about to find this, man.
Certain seasons that require silence. Sometimes the announcement of your next move is the trigger for your next attack. Not everyone will celebrate your vision. Some people will try to stop it the moment they hear about it. Which is why some of you are in a season where you gotta move in silence. The biggest mistake I made in 2022 through 2024, when God was taking me to a whole nother level, was that I assumed people would be happy for me. Not everyone, I'm finna run, can handle your next level. Some people.
Introducing
Well, guys, guess what?
Well, from this point on, I'm gonna be the co-host with Lady J. You know what I'm saying? On Everybody Safe podcast. We're gonna be talking about. We gonna get in some of some everything. This ain't gonna be, this podcast ain't gonna be, all gossip and, tea with the women. We also gonna touch some things, some topics, man, that can really help people. Like, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, like, I'm gonna be, and I know you got a lot of people do this type of stuff. But I'm also gonna be doing it too. Like, I'm gonna be breaking it down, showing people about their credit, how to get their credit right. I'm gonna be breaking stuff down for business, showing people how to get, how to start a business, or if you already have a business, how to get it more, organized. Because believe it or not, you got a lot of people that got businesses, and their inner workings, their affairs is not correct. So I'm gonna be breaking that down. We're gonna be talking about politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be breaking down what is real politics. We're gonna talk about the law.
Exactly.
Me and Jay, we'll give y'all, other little things to entertain. We'll be talking about, like, little sports here and there too. Me and her, we'll shoot the shit on that. But we're gonna give up a lot of, and when I say give up, meaning I'm gonna be going in depth. Like, I'm not just, like, whoever tunes in with a segment, they're gonna really learn something, because I'm not gonna just give you, like a lot of other people, they give you just enough and then they back up. I'm gonna give it to you, and it's gonna, we're gonna be available where people can call in and ask questions, and they might want to know certain things. I'm gonna break it down for you. You know what I'm saying? So, we just want to ask everybody to stay tuned. It's gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? These first 2 episodes were just me just breaking the ice, telling my story, because I had a lot of people asking me, well, what happened and this and that. How did this happen? So I just told my story, and then these are just brief, because a lot of people gonna see the story, as time go on film. You know what I'm saying? Because I am negotiating right now with people about.
Yes, he is. And I knew for a fact. I wanted to give him this moment because he deserved this moment. We had done already talked about this. We knew that this was in the process, and we knew that this was in the making. And I was so excited because so many people told him, hey, you need to start a podcast. But it takes one. My mom always tells me it takes one to plant the seed, one to water the seed, and then God gets the glory from it. So I was just excited when I stepped to him and I said, hey, you want to come on and do a podcast? And he was like, huh? I was like, yeah. He was like, it's funny that you say that, because so many people have been talking to me about it. And whenever he said, we're going to sit down and talk about it. Me and him talk for hours. Every single day we talk for hours, and there's not a dull moment that goes by that we're coming up and we're doing, and we're getting ready to start, and we're getting ready to use this podcast as a platform. And what I want you guys to do, please tell everyone, because it's a word. We need you guys to tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone. I need you to just spread the word that Nobody Safe podcast is going to be one of the most phenomenal podcasts here in Orlando, Florida. So we are going to touch, just like he said, we're going to touch on everything. And just like someone said, yes, he's going to put those degrees to use. And I'm so very proud of him. So with that being said, next week's topic, we have already discussed. Now, we going to want y'all to call in on this one. Okay. Yeah, we let y'all hear his story. But next week, the 20th. We're doing every 2 weeks right now. So y'all going to have to tune in 2 more weeks, September the 20th. But our topic, you want to tell them? I think you should tell them what the... No, you're the co-host. So you got to tell them the first topic. Because,
Which one did we lock in on?
Why do...
Oh, why do men cheat?
And what...
And why do women cheat?
So the topic is going to be, why do men cheat? And why do women... hold on, how did I say it? It was just on the tip of my tongue. Why do men cheat, and what possesses a woman to cheat? So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk. He's gonna talk on the men. I'm gonna talk on the women, and we're gonna get down and dirty. Read, go back, because I'm talking and I can't read these. What is? God allowed you to attend the University of Higher Learning to be able to bless so many others. That is so true. Mama J said it. And see, you didn't know. That's what I'm saying. Because Mama, big bruh, stand up for real, and we standing strong, but for real. Listen, let me tell you something. I want you to listen to me when I tell you this. And this is coming from such, why this put of everything underneath the sun. Why this put of, I can't even see what that's saying. But listen, I want you to hear me out when I say this. God allowed you to be in that situation, to go through what you went through, to teach you what he needed to teach you, to humble you more, to place you for your season that is now.
Yeah, because that's how it works. I understand, like, a lot of times, people, go through a lot of, go through real horrible things. And a lot of times God, and I'm going to speak for me, like, placed me in a position to remove certain elements, meaning certain people from my life who prevented me from going to the next level.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And he did it in a way to reveal, like, expose those individuals to
Exactly.
me. Hey man, this dude ain't no good. He was holding you back. This dude, and now that those elements have been removed, that's just like when I laid in that cell, and I didn't even know. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I didn't even know when Biden signed, when my name was on that position. I didn't even know at first. I'm laying, and I never forget, man. I'm laying on the phone, because that's what we do in Fed. I mean, for the ones who got phones, I'm on the phone doing what I do.
Because I think somebody watching you now.
You know what I'm saying? And I get a message pop up. Man, twin, your name on that petition. And I'm still doing what I do. So then I get another message. Hey man, your name on that petition. My heart jumped. Boom. Mm-hmm. All right, And I get another message. Man, you seen the petition? Man, your name on the lap. So I say, man, let me check this out. Mm-hmm. So I go on the government site, to pull it up, and I scroll, and I see my name and my number. And man, I'm talking about my heart pounding in my chest, like,
wow.
I'm talking about I had to get off the site and go back on it just to
refresh
look at it again, blow it up. I'm like, oh man.
Did you call your mom? Was your mom the first one you called?
No, not yet. I hadn't, but I didn't have to. I think one of my aunts told her. But I had something just speak to me, like, I'm laying, like, because I'm kind of like meditating, to myself, because I had to really shake it off.
Yeah, he was supposed to have it.
Yeah.
He got to play it off.
Yeah, I got to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm meditating to myself, and I had something just speak to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I'm laying there meditating to myself, and that spirit, that high element in life, whatever you deem to call it, God, Allah, whatever, spoke to me and say, because I ain't gonna lie, I had a lot of anger. I'm talking about, I'm gonna keep it 100, because I can speak with, because it's old. I had nothing but pure destruction on my mind, because I felt like, after coming home, when I come home,
wow,
it don't make no sense. It don't make no difference. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do what I need to do and go on back. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
No, this is how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about for real.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in stone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had this calm just came over me, and something just told me, you know what? I want you to kill them with your success. Allow them to live and watch you succeed.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And surpass them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I plan on doing.
So there's a saying that you use your enemies for your step stool. So you allow every single enemy, every single person that meant you harm, every single person that tried to drag you, every single person that held you down, you're out. You a lot calmer. You know your focus. You know where we going, because Orlando don't even know what we got up our sleeve. And they just, y'all better be prepared. Y'all better be, y'all, all I'm going to tell you guys is you better be ready. You better be ready. But you use them as your step stool. So when you get ready to shine, you standing on top of them, letting them know what y'all did to hurt me. It didn't hurt me. It didn't break me. It made me. Because sometimes we have to be, sometimes we have to be broken. We have to be broken in order to appreciate when we're put back together.
You know, the only thing make diamonds is pressure.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and you know, it's one of, you know, and I got to get back into that too, because somebody said something to me about that a couple of days ago. You know, I do a lot of writing. You know, I used to do a lot of posting, writing essays and articles and stuff. I'm gonna get back in that too, because I realized I hadn't. When they said that, I realized, oh, you really hadn't wrote nothing in post in a good little while on your page. So I'm gonna get back in that. But you know, it just, you know, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to allow myself to be who I am, who I truly am, and what I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like going back to the article, I got one article that I wrote where I say, man, you know, a lot of people, just to paraphrase it, I say a lot of people will throw away, you know, they'll throw away a diamond thinking it's a stone. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how it was with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not a perfect individual, but I feel like a lot of people that was in my life, in my past, they didn't realize that they had a diamond. You know what I'm saying? And I was cast away like I was some stone, you know, but now they finna see. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna let them see.
They gonna see.
We gonna
let
them see.
And they gonna get the best of both worlds, because I got to give it to them too with a hint of Daryl in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, Daryl gonna put it in your
There
face.
you go. There
You know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
There you go.
You know.
Well, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. So, well, listen. I would like to thank you for tuning in these last 2 weeks to our first ever podcast of the Nobody's Safe podcast. The sky's the limit from here. We are going to have every single episode something different, and we're gonna teach, and we're gonna really give you know, information that's going to be put out there. But we want you guys to share it. Please share. Let your friends, let your family know, hey, y'all want to go subscribe to this podcast, because we're going to have guests on the podcast. A king doesn't get off his throne to address peasants. Keep flourishing, David. That's right. I know that's right. We're going to have guests on our podcast. There may be different guests. We're going to have so much. It's going to be so much, and it's going to get entertaining. And as we grow, we're going to make sure that we thank our city as well. Well, you have anything to say before we pick this lucky winner?
Nah, let's get to it.
Okay. So what I want my engineer to do, since you have the list in front of you of our YouTube subscribers, I want you to just randomly go down the list and pick a name. And then I want that person, whoever name he picks, is going to pop up on the screen. Can you put it on the screen? And I want you to call in so we can get your information and we can send it to you. So look at the screen and see if it's your name. So good luck. Let's see. You're going to get a Michael Kors travel pillow and a calendar. Okay, so the computer is picking. All right, let's go. Let's go.
You too. This thing coming out. So,
That's my cousin.
That's who it is.
That's my cousin.
Miss Mon,
Monica.
yay, love it, congrats, cuz. Okay, so Miss Mon, that's who won. That's your cousin.
Yeah, that's my
well, you got a number.
Yeah, I can come.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, love it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna make sure he'll make sure that you get your travel pillow. She's here.
No, she's in New York.
Okay. Well, we gotta send it to New York. So I'm talking about y'all. I know that's right. We got people watching us from New York. So that just made my night. So. Listen, guys, thank you so much again for joining on to our Nobody is Safe podcast. We want to thank you for taking out the time to hearing David's story, and hopefully when you see him in the streets, congratulate him. Shake his hand, say congratulations. We proud of you, because we are. I'm going to let him sign off tonight. I talked enough, but I'm going to let him sign off tonight since he our new co-host, because he's going to have to be broken now.
Well, you already know I ain't a person of a whole lot of words. I say a little something here and there, but, I just, I want to ask everybody who subscribed to, stay with us. We'll be back in 2 weeks, because our show it's going to be every other Saturday. And I promise you will not be disappointed, because there's going to be a lot of vital information shared. Like, really, and I'm going to leave it at that,
And somebody say check your inbox too.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Nobody's Safe podcast. We will see you September the 20th at 8 p.m. Until then, remember, we are sharing, we are breaking down levels, we are getting to the truth, and we are dishing it out on our podcast, on the Nobody is Safe podcast.
And let me add this, for those, because we also don't want to use this. We also going to use this platform for the other guys too. In the streets, or was in the streets or whatever. To
tell their story.
Tell their story. But now, there's a caveat. You're not just going to be able to just get on here and just say what you want to say, and there's no documentation. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was doing what you was doing, there's going to be something that can be verified to substantiate what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because now, if we're going to play that game, we could just I can go out there and pick one of them people that's standing in the media with the sign and bring them in here, and to say that they was, selling hundreds of keys just last week and all this other stuff. We ain't finna do that. Now, when it come to that part of our show, if you was really in the streets or whatever, you ain't finna, that's gonna be verified. And I'm gonna say this too. It's part of the caveat. I know the law. So you ain't gonna be able to just, I'm gonna know what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the tattoos and the goals and all that fool you, because you got a few people that have, but don't let that fool you. I know what I'm looking for and what I'm reading.
There you go. Y'all see it. Y'all see it.
Just know that. You know what I'm saying? We do want to bring other people on the platform to put their story out. But if your main objective is to come on here and just boast about what you doing, and you can do that if that's your story, but it's gonna be verified first. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But we just not in the we not in that market to just, we not thirsty for content to the point where we just gonna put anything out. You know what I'm saying? Just because it sounds juicy,
And let me tell you something. I try to refrain from using certain type of language. But if you reach out to me and I ask you a question, and I'm trying to verify your story, and you get mad at me and you're going to tell me how you going to run my podcast, you better keep going. Because let me tell you something. It's real over here. Because now what you did was make me want to get to know who you really is and find out the truth about you. And now that I find out that you on people paperwork, you want to block me. So let me say this. Be careful who you reaching out to, because I know I'm in the city now. I'm very well known in the city now. So, I'm the queen pen. I'm the queen pen. But nah, listen, you heard it here on the Nobody Safe podcast. So until then, September the 20th, at 8 p.m. we will see you guys then. You guys have a safe week. Until then,
be there, be square, be merry, do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
all right, big dog. Listen, we out. Y'all stay safe, and thank you for tuning in to the Nobody Safe podcast.
This is easy. It's easy with me. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from themselves. But that's okay. We got this.
Nobody is Safe, the podcast where nothing's off limits and no one's off the hook. Real talk, raw stories, and unfiltered conversations that keep you on the edge. Buckle up, because here, nobody is safe.